Welcome to the Rockin Rich Lynch on the Radio Show. I'm your host, Rockin Rich Lynch, inviting you to join me as we discover great new music by bands and artists from around the world. With interviews, music news and reviews, great prizes, and a whole lot more. Visit us online today at soundpress.net for great music promotion and publicity. Hi, this is Rockin Rich Lynch, and you're listening to the very best of Rockin Rich Lynch on the radio. We recently moved our operations from the New York, New Jersey market to Nashville, Tennessee, and we are now looking for a production and broadcast partner in the region to take the radio show to new heights. If you're a band, musician, solo act, or represent a musical project in any genre, please visit soundpress.net and our new site, musiccitynashville.net, to learn how we can help get your message to the world. Now, please enjoy this great interview from our archives. The person we are about to speak with emerged through the power of television with a bold, striking, and iconic look in the fall of 1982 as the provocative and sexy frontwoman for the new wave band Missing Persons. It's my pleasure to welcome to the program today Dale Bozzio. Dale, welcome. And
Hi. Thank you so much for that incredible introduction.
You're welcome. Welcome back, too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So listen, before I get into some things, I want to mention that you will have a new album coming out on March 4th on Cleopatra Records. It's called Missing in Action, produced by Billy Sherwood. Want to talk a little bit about that down the road. I know Cleopatra Records has a website. Is there any current website or Facebook page that you're using for yourself, Dale?
I do have a Facebook. Yes, it's on the internet there. I've got about 7,000 friends now, and a lot of personal friends on there that I keep in contact with. Pretty much that's about where you can find me. I will continue to play many concerts this year in 2014, and I have a lot of options in the fire now, maybe hosting a TV show or some other situations. I'm actually have a great friend, William Gelvin of Gelvin Guitars, is making me my own personal guitar this week, and I'm having my son, Shane, teach me how to play guitar. I have a favorite song on my record here, which is track 5. It's called The More We Love, and I think it states exactly what I feel and how I believe in the world.
Hey, nice. That's really interesting. You brought up a lot of stuff right there in terms of, sometimes you got to go away to make people know they missed you.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to go too far.
and in terms of your songwriting, you never had access to an instrument to help you in your craft?
Actually, I play piano, and everything in my head just comes to me. I design melodies. I live for the pen and pencil and paper. I delve into writing when I have since I'm 11 years old. I write prose, poems, stories, and books, and self-help books, and I've written a life story now. I find a release in writing. It's really pacifies me and helps me to reach the notes and sing the songs that I want to create.
Hey, look, I want to keep this together a little bit thematically, so what will help me moving forward is maybe to talk a little bit about the men in your life. I don't know all of them, Dale, but let's let's start.
That's tricky.
No. We'll keep this nice and clean. But
okay.
Hugh Hefner, a very important man in your life, I understand.
Yes, actually, I was Playboy Bunny of Boston for 1976. And I left there, went to Hugh Hefner's house, and he invited me in, and actually I had a panic attack and decided that I was going to leave. And I walked out and said I couldn't stay for my meeting, so I kind of was a little bit rude that day. But I turned away from him in that exact day, that moment, which was February 10th, 1976. I drove down to this SIR Studio Instrumental Lots in Hollywood, and I ran into Frank Zappa. And that day, within the half an hour, Frank said to me, "Your voice it will be a household word. And you're going to be Mary on Joe's Garage, and you now have a job. And I said, oh, dear, Frank, I came here to be a movie star. I don't know how to sing. He said, oh, you will when I'm done with you. And that was the real answer of my whole key to my life. Those two men, Frank Zappa and Hugh Hefner, if I hadn't walked out on Hugh that day, he scared me, he frightened me, I wouldn't have never seen Frank, and that was the answer to my dreams right there. And I became Mary on Joe's Garage, and then sang many other things for Frank. I Don't Want to Get Drafted. Many tracks went on to another album that I made with Terry Bozzio, and he made a whole life for me. I'm now whatever I am because of Frank Zappa. My life is dedicated to Frank.
That's awesome, because Frank, there, a guy, cut short in the prime of life. We really needed him.
Yes, I saw Frank close to the few days before he passed away, and he took me by the shoulders and he kissed me on the forehead. And I told him I loved him, and I cried till I fell to my knees because I knew I would never see him again. He was the reason that I do what I do still every day. He's an inspiration to me. I have his picture in front of me 24 hours a day. I talk to him, and he inspires me to be what I am because I know if I would stop, that would be all in vain. And he created what I have, and he has made me all of my dreams come true that I didn't even know that I could be and make to the forefront. He introduced me that day to Terry Bozzio, who became an incredible instrument in my life. I married him for 9.5 years, and he taught me so much about the world of music and how to learn to sing and know notes and understand the world of music, and including he introduced me to Warren Cucurullo, who is a melody maestro and one of the most impressive guitar players in the world. And to the two of those fellas, I'm indebted. I'm indebted to them. They were the two instrumental men in my life. I mean, besides, of course, my father. That was my biggest fan since I'm a little girl, and he raised me on his own. He was a stone-cold Roman. And I'm indebted to my grandfather. My grandfather invented the resonator for the banjo. There's a king called the King Banjo that my family donated to the Museum of Boston, to the Museum of Arts. And my grandfather was known as one of the greatest artisans in the world. His name was Consalvi, Icilio Consalvi. And I have a lot to live up to in my family, and they're all related to my 7th great-granduncle who died Pope, acting Pope at the Vatican, and he's cryogenically frozen there. And Frank Zappa got me a pass to go into the Vatican to see my uncle, my great-granduncle of the 7th generation, frozen as a frozen Pope.
Hey, Dale,
me and Terry went there.
It sounds like we're going off into Dale Brown type territory here, but listen, we are talking.
Well, there's a lot of history there for me with men. You wanted to hear about the men, and there's a list.
It's amazing. Dale Bozzio is on the phone with us right now. We're talking a little bit about everything. I know you've written some stuff. Maybe if there's another attempt at the autobiography, you could go with from the Playboy Mansion to Joe's Garage.
Yeah. Well, over these last few years, I have written a book about my life. I've written quite a few books. I pride myself, as I say, in the things I write. I penned a lot of songs with Terry and Warren through the years and really was able to show my prowess, which is writing. And then as Frank discovered that I could sing, and then I could put the two together, which is sing what I wrote, so success.
Hey, Dale, I wanted to be honest with you in saying that, sometimes, I'm a middle-aged white Irish guy, kind of nondescript. I'm not really too striking or everybody confuses me for somebody else.
Okay.
And as a guy, sometimes I feel myself maybe being envious or jealous of, the young Hollywood starlets or young girls who are beautiful, who seemingly always seem to get a lot of opportunities. Now, I know it's not always just because of their looks. A lot of them have talent, but you kind of seem like you started off in that direction where some things opened doors for you. when people have to work in a Hooters or as a Playboy bunny, do you feel that that's more in the line of exploitation or more opportunity?
Well, that's a touchy situation. Women have a lot of prowess in their life, and we're sort of put on, I say, a pedestal. So I tend to feel that beauty comes from within, because I'm not really the one to look in the mirror and say, okay, put on my lipstick now. My education and my family embedded in me to live inside out. And I, as a woman, really wanted to be more beautiful than I was. I always thought of myself as not so pretty and kind of the girl in the corner when I was a little girl in school. I'm an introvert and I'm very eccentric, so me with the womanhood is really more so of conquering my inner strength, and my kindness becomes my beauty. I would hope that all women could see it that way, but then we have such the view of this premeditated sort of vision of women's attributes. And so with all that in mind, I mean, yes, I think it's a pride thing that women have to sort of put their best foot forward. And in the way of the world, you kind of have to have something to hang on to. So whatever it should be, as long as you use it properly, I don't think that's a bad thing. I believe a woman is here for the beauty of life and to make men's lives better.
Hey, I can't argue with that, Dale.
Okay, well then all right, Mr. Handsome.
So, you mentioned a little bit about the other man in your life, Terry Bozzio, Frank Zappa drummer, who you went and formed the band Missing Persons with. Now, my demographic, 1981 comes along. It's the August of 1981. I am now going to be a sophomore in high school, and my life changes because MTV television launches and comes into my household.
Yeah, right.
And for the next 15 years, I didn't pursue a higher education really. For the next 15 years, I watched days and days and days of videos. That was my life.
Well, you know what? You were a lucky one, because they don't even have any videos on MTV anymore.
I know, it was life-changing, and that's why I'm doing this, Dale, because, I remember seeing you. You were right there, and a lot of the people that I speak to on this show were people who were getting famous from MTV Music Television. So I wanted to ask you, what was that magical period like for you, beginning in the fall of 1982 with the release of Spring Session M and the exposure you got on MTV? What was that period of life like for you?
Well, actually, it was a fellow named Les Garland, who was the vice president at the time of MTV. He took a liking to us and believed in our music. And we were pretty much one of the, second videos on MTV. Actually, I just think it opened up a whole world of visuals, because at that time you needed all these eye-flashing instruments to make anybody notice what you were even talking about. So that is one of the reasons why I decided to dye my hair blue and wear some kind of moss-growing outfit that I made myself out of plexiglass, because I thought, okay, well, we're really going to make a statement here and change the world and do it for the better and to say some good things so that I could get my message across. And yeah, in a way, I did use my prowess and my God-given gifts to make that happen, but I knew underlying so that I was on a mission. And my mission really is to be a better person in the world and to deliver the message that it's really okay to make a mistake. It's okay to venture out and try this or that until you fall flat in your face and learn that you got to do something else. I think it's the world of expression. And that, of course, was an instrument for all of us. And then, as time went on, I didn't want to have to live up to all the visuals, and just started to delve into really, really writing music and really thinking about melodies and taking the tunes to another level. Thank God I had the most incredible musicians with me, which was Terry Bozzio and Warren Cucurullo, the gift of Frank Zappa, and I was able to make that happen. I don't think that could happen for everybody. I feel that I was just at the right time, at the right place, and I know for sure in my life that timing is everything.
Timing it is, because you were really one of the very, very first. The press release that was just put out calls you the original glam diva inspiring the likes of Madonna, Gwen Stefani, Lady Gaga, and many others. Have any of those people that might be your musical protege ever reached out to you to have an audience with yourself?
No. No, actually not. I did get one chance to meet, let's see. No, really, I haven't really spoke to any of them. Joan Jett I did meet, and she was incredibly complimentary to me. She's an amazing girl herself. But no, I have never come in contact with Madonna, Lady Gaga, or any of those people. I wish them all well, and I know that they all have their own inspiration. And for me, obviously, it's a form of flattery. I don't take any, I don't take the power of them. I think they're all incredibly unique, and I know I have never had the opportunity to speak to any of them.
Yeah, I don't think I actually made the Lady Gaga connection, really, because I guess I never really thought about it with too much intensity. But of course, Lady Gaga, musically, a lot of her stuff certainly reminded me of what Madonna was doing. But now, talking to you and looking at the pictures, you can definitely see how she was pulling from a lot of sources to create her own unique identity. And you know what? There was room for that type of performer 20 years after the fact. So she was just really filling a void and a need and a niche.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that there's a lot of people out there that they're so beautiful, they're all unique, and everybody needs a chance at the brass ring. And I say go for it. I mean, there's 3 million or so unsigned bands on the internet, and everybody needs a chance. Everybody should be heard. I mean, it does really, today it's a matter of preference, and there's so many choices. You can just be your own musician, make your own music at home, and music makes the world go round. That's one camaraderie that I feel that we all have. I mean, the whole musical entity that came from, the 20s and all of our soul, incredible captures, Marvin Gaye, etc., Diana Ross. I mean, my inspiration was Judy Garland. I got to see her when I was 8 years old in Boston Common on my father's shoulders, and she changed my world. I wanted to be Judy Garland.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, who doesn't love The Wizard of Oz?
Yeah, I used to wait for Christmas Eve every year to watch that on TV. Now I can watch it 24/7.
So you guys have sort of a brief career, and then maybe a couple albums, and the opportunity goes away. The band breaks up. Your marriage to Terry ends. There wasn't going to be a Fleetwood Mac type solution for missing persons.
Yeah, unfortunately. And in the back of my mind and in my heart, I still hope and pray that I will work with Terry and Warren one more time before it's too late. We're all three of us alive, and I love them. There's no greater men in my life, as we mentioned before, that have just saved me. They saved me, and they showed me all the things that I could learn and absorb in the music business, and I am indebted to them as well as Frank Zappa. They are great, great friends of mine, and I would wish someday that I could see them again and make music with them again. That would be, to me, a personal miracle.
All right, Dale, just a couple of more. In the summer of 1983, Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, takes a lot of the bands that are making a huge impression on MTV and brings them all out into the desert of California for the US Festival. What can you remember about that 3-day period and your performance at the event?
Well, it sure was an eye-opener. I was absolutely grateful to make that presentation there, and at that point when I saw all those people, I decided to pull out my Polaroid and take a picture of them, because I knew in the back of my mind no one would believe that what I was looking at. And it made my day. I really was thoroughly impressed with our performance, Missing Persons. We sang and played that live, and I think we were on the top of our game. It was about 110 degrees at noontime in broad daylight under the sun, and it was an amazing experience, something that I will remember and forever for the rest of my life.
So as you said, Dale, the new stuff is coming out. Missing in Action on March 4th will be released by Cleopatra Records. Produced by Billy Sherwood, who's known for a lot of things, working more in the prog rock genre. Did he do anything to change your sound or maybe advance you a little bit into the future? And what are you most excited about the new record dropping?
He and I were like magic. We hit it off immediately. I hit the microphone and nailed the notes. I put all of my influence into my character vocal, which I have. I made everything my own. I penned 2 particular songs myself. If I Give You My Mind and All the Way, but there's a track that I sang, which is the 5th track that he wrote. It's called The More We Love. And my mom had just passed away. She died last March 4th, as a matter of fact, ironically the same day that record will come out. So that to me is an incredible premonition. And she was an angel and the most incredible, beautiful woman in my life. And I sang that song for her. And I have a heartfelt feeling for this record that I'm so glad I had the opportunity to play and work with Billy Sherwood. He's an incredibly fine musician. He's a genius.
Hey, Dale, it sounds like you're coming into a very good place and a very good time for yourself and the reemergence of missing persons. We've had many repeat customers on this program. Hopefully you'll come back and we can continue this conversation someday down the road.
Okay, and you know I'm going to call you handsome for here on out. And listen, Irish or not, I love you.
Thank you, Dale. I love you too.
Okay, God bless you, and thank you so much for your time and your incredible questions. And anything I can do for you for Why Hunger, you let me know. I'll come and play for you.
All right, I will pass that on to the good people in New York City.
And make me a part of that. I would love to be a spokesperson or do anything I can to lend my hand to my time.
All right, Dale, I will pass that on, and God bless. Good luck with the new record. We'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, I love you. Take care of yourself.
Thanks for listening to the Rockin' Rich Lynch on the Radio Show, part of the SoundPress.net radio network. Remember, if you're a band or artist looking for promotion, or if you'd like to sponsor this show or add this program to your station, please get in touch with us today at SoundPress.net.